Hi everyone and welcome to another Flosstube number 37. This is a 2-week Flosstube because I had some things happen to me throughout these past 2 weeks and I just didn't have the capacity to record last week. I will talk a lot about it towards the end of the video, and know that if you want to know everything that happens in my life, I do have a vlog channel where I talk about like my day-to-day happenings on a daily basis at the moment. Anyhow, this is a channel about cross-stitching, so let's get into that. But first, if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. It warms my heart that you want to spend some time with me. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Marika. I am from Stockholm, Sweden, where I live with my boyfriend and my 2 cats. And this is a channel about cross-stitching. And if you like it, please hit that subscribe button and stay. If you like the video, like it. And comment down below if you have any questions or comments or just want to say hi, because I really appreciate when you do that, and it helps me to stay positive at this moment. But more about that towards the end of the video. Let's jump into all of the cross-stitching, which has not been as much as I wanted. So let's start with my finish of the year, or of the week. So if you have seen more videos from me, you will know that I am currently doing Christmas in July, which means I am stitching on Christmas projects throughout July. I might be calling that quits later this week, but so far Christmas. When I left you off, I had just a little bit left on my on the Barbara Anna Dreaming Miss Claus, and I finished it. By the way, I'm very much aware that I have some puckering. It will block out when I put it on a board later. It's just that I stitched this in hand and I haven't stitched on even weave in a very long time. Anyhow, this is stitched in all of the shirted DMCs and in Kreinik. However, I did switch the Kreinik out from the 221 to the 002 HL because I didn't have 221 at home. I have the other one. So that is the only difference I have made. Otherwise, it's all in the shirted DMC as called for. It is stitched on some taupe 32 count Murano even weave. If you don't know, Zweigart, this is Zweigart fabric. It's a Zweigart color, and all of their even weaves have different names. So the 25 count is called Lugana, the 28 count is called Brittany, the 32 count is called Murano. It's all even weave, or I know that there are other brands that call even weave for Lugana. It's basically the same thing. It's 48 polyester, no, it's 48 some rayon or something, polyester or something, and 52 cotton. So yeah, that is that one. So that is finished. As I said, Barbaranas. I have links to the projects in the description down below, so if you want to know more about it, or if I say something and you don't really hear it, you can always just go to the description down below to find all the details of the project. When I had finished that one, I decided I wanted a new start. I needed something new to work on, so I picked up this kit, and I'm going to show you the front first. So this is the kit I picked out. This is the Christmas Village ornaments by Dimension. It is a gold collection kit. They are stitched on 18 count or 16 count. 18 count ivory Ida, and I am stitching on this one up here, which is the little barn. I picked the barn out because my grandpa was a farmer, so you will find out more about why that meant something for me. And this is how far I got. I stitched for it for about 2 or 3 days. It's a lot of stitches. It looks like it isn't that big, but it is on 18 count, so there's a lot of stitches in this project. And I think it's like 90 high or something, and like 60 wide. It is bigger than you think. Also, this is mostly most of these are half stitches, but they're done in different amounts. So some of them are blends where you have like 2 of one color and 1 of one color. And I found that after the Tuesday, my grandpa passed away. I'm not going to go into details here right now, but that happened, and I got very much overwhelmed with this project because I couldn't keep the different threads in my head. So I needed something that was comfort stitching. So I put that away and I picked up something that I've been working on for a while, and that is Christmas House 1 by Artisy. You can always also have seen it as On the Rooftop by, I never remember who, because I never bought it by them, and I never bought patterns by them either. But anyhow, they had the license for it, and then Artisy decided to bring home the license. Artisy is a licensing company who licenses art, but they also have Artisy Cross Stitch, where they make cross stitch pattern out of their licenses. So this is a Christmas House 1. I had a little bit left over here that I stitched, and then I stitched about 1,000 stitches a day on this area, and this is about 3,000 stitches. It doesn't look that much, but it is, and I'm really loving how it comes out. However, because I kind of dig my whole, I didn't have the capacity to deal with everything that I'm dealing with, so I kind of hid in this project and I spent morning to evening stitching. And I know that I'm not allowed to do that. My back can't handle that. I have an issue with the narrowing in my spine. Whenever I tense up and whenever I stitch too long, I start getting knots in my back very quickly because of that narrowing. So my back, basically my back is more sensitive to it. So what happened was I got a really bad knot around my spine, which led to really intense nerve pain down my arm out into my pinky. And we did get that knot to loosen after a couple of days, and I'm not in as much pain anymore. I still have some pain left, and I can't stitch on this at the moment because of how I sit when I do that. So I had to take a couple of days break from stitching, and then I just like, I need to stitch. I love stitching. I needed a project. I needed something, and I have had a couple of orders of the Mill Hill ornaments from my store to other people, and I've gotten inspired by those orders. I've gotten inspired to actually pick up those kits that they have purchased. However, they are not Christmas projects. So I dived into my little bucket of kits because I knew I had one Mill Hill winter kit from 2022 left. I don't sell these specific one in my store yet. They might be picked up later, but this is the one I'm working on. This is the winter holiday project, one of the 6 little kits, and it is from 2022, and I love it. It is just adorable. So this is how the front looks. It is called the Cuckoo Clock. I think it's super adorable, and I'm at the beading phase. So basically, whenever I do a project, I do as the description says, which is basically that you stitch the cross stitches, and then you do any kind of back stitching or that kind. You do any kind of French knots, and then you go in with the beading. So I'm at the beading stage. I'm not completely done, but I'm really loving how it turns out. One of the things I was kind of thinking about, let's see, there they are, is this is kind of fun. These, if I can get it to focus on it, let's see, these beads here are periwinkle, and when you get them in your hand, you will see they have a very purplish tint. I have made projects before where I used these periwinkle, where it has been combined with one of the threads in 550s, I think like the 552 if I'm not mistaken, and then these beads turn out being very purple. However, in this project, they are using those beads over here. Let's see if we can focus. There you go, over here. And they're using 791. And because there are transparency in the glass beads, they look much more blue, which is super cool. I really like that effect. I think it's so awesome. But yes, this is the last project, and that is what I'm working on at the moment. And I'm actually sitting here and stitching at the moment because this is a much better share, but I can only sit here for shorter periods of time. But I have something to stitch on, and it kind of at least takes a little bit of that. I like to be productive, especially when I'm very, very stressed. Having my cross stitching making me feel productive, making me feel a lot better. So, therapy. But yeah, that was all my stitching this week, or the past 2 weeks. Stitching is going to be a little bit slower because I am not able to sit too long of a time, and I am traveling from tomorrow and forward, so I'm trying to figure out what kits I'm gonna bring, what I'm gonna bring, how I'm gonna bring it. We are going to stay at the same place, so I might even take my Lowry stand with me, but I haven't decided yet, and we'll see. We'll see how that will work out. I am going to need, after this video is all recorded and done, I'm gonna need to sit down and pack. Yeah, that is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna pack. Anyhow, if you were just here for the stitching, that was all. But if you want to know what is happening in the past 2 weeks, let's jump into it. Now, this is going to be a very Cliff Notes version of what is going on. If you do want to see it more in depth and actually get a daily update, I do have a vlogging channel called The Real Life of Me, which is always linked in the description down below, so you can always go there and find out more. Also know that if I by any reason don't have a Friday upload, there will be a community post that you can find the details on why it happened. So you just need to go to the community tab over on my channel. So yeah, it's been crazy here in this room mostly. I've been spending most of my time in here. It's been really, really crazy. And why have it been crazy? Well, as you know, I lost my job. It was the second time being let go because of being redundant, made redundant because of company kind of shrinking down whoever works there. I was made redundant about 10 weeks ago from my first company, signed out with my second company, and then I was made redundant a week after I started. I have now found out that they basically are on their way into bankruptcy, and that they have basically fired a quarter of their employees and might need to fire more. So yeah, that happened. Which also means this time I don't have like a company I want to go back to. Instead, I have been talking to recruiters and companies, and I have met people working at the companies. I've done tech tests. I've done so many things in this past 2.5 weeks, and I have burnt out, to be honest. Yesterday I had a tech interview where I couldn't code. My brain just didn't allow me to code. It shut down completely, which made me very, like, I have 15 years as a developer and I couldn't even do the junior things in code in front of this person. I was like, I'm super sorry, my brain just won't allow me today. And it feels like I feel shameful about it. Like, I shouldn't, because life has been really, really rough. But I feel shameful anyhow that my brain just doesn't allow me to do the things that it's supposed to. So yeah, that's rough. A week after I found out I lost my job, my grandpa passed away. I love him to bits. He was sick. For him, this was the best thing that could happen, because I don't think he wouldn't. He was so sick they couldn't help him anymore. So him passing was just a natural thing. However, that doesn't make me less sad. It doesn't make it less painful that he's not with us anymore. And I'm just, I don't know, it's been rough because I don't have the capacity to grieve at the moment, which is super strange, but it just is how it is. I need to find a job. I have a very strict timeline, and most companies aren't hiring because it is vacations periods here in Sweden. So I'm super stressed about it, which means I always also put in a lot of time to have meetings and talk to people and talk to companies. And right now, as I said, my brain is just shutting down because this is overwhelming for me. I'm an introverted person, which when people actually meet me and talk to me like, you don't seem to be introverted. Well, being introverted doesn't mean that you're not social. Being introverted doesn't mean that you can't talk to people when they approach you. Being introverted means that your social batteries, your energy levels doesn't increase by being social. I know a lot of people, especially people that are like PMs or business or product, salespeople, they get energy from talking to people every day. If they are alone for a couple of days, they kind of get a little bit depressed, they get low energy. I'm the complete opposite. I need a lot of time on my own, in my own space, doing my own thing. And this having to put myself out there every day, multiple times every day, is just draining me. And it drains me a little bit more every day. It's the spoon thing that we talk about with chronic ailments, which I also have, but it is on a whole other level because it's more mental than it is like energy, physical energy. I have my chronic ailments, but I can work around them having virtual meetings and phone calls. That doesn't drain the physical energy, but because I'm super introverted, it drains my mental energy, and I'm at a place where I don't have any energy left at all, and I need to keep going, and that is rough. I didn't mean it to be this depressing and sad. I'm sorry, but right now I'm at the point where I'm just exhausted, and I just want someone to call me up and say, hi, we have a job, here's a contract, let's start in August. That is where I am. I don't want to do this anymore, but I have no choice, so I'm doing it again and again and again. We are leaving Stockholm though, and right now, like the last couple of weeks in July and the first couple of weeks in August are usually very much vacation heavy for most companies in Sweden, which means also that the recruiting will probably die down a little. And hopefully it will, but I will have to keep my phone on and read my email multiple times a day and make sure to be active on LinkedIn and all of those things until I have a contract in my hand. That's just how I'm gonna have to do this. But yeah, I'm drained. It's gonna be nice to have a change of venue, but it doesn't change anything else. I still have everything on my plate that I have here. So yeah, it's gonna be rough. So I had all the plans to make a whip parade and all of these things, but I just haven't had the mental capacity to actually figure out how to get all of those things together. So I haven't. But yeah, not to be a downer, life is a little bit rough right now. I'm pushing through, and I will come out on the other side eventually. I think for me, here's the thing, everyone will kind of react to things differently, and everyone's way to react is a valid way to react. I am not telling you that your way is less important for you. I am just explaining how I react. Just so I don't want to get into any of that. I have a way to handle things. I always look towards the light. I always look towards the positive things. I had a psychologist that I met, or a therapist I met, when I was in my late 20s. This was before I got all of my diagnoses, and I kind of credit her for being able to go through all my chronic ailments and all of those things and still have a smile on my face. And she and me talked about depression, and what she said to me when it came to, at least for me, and that was, as long as you can see the light, as long as you can see that you are going somewhere, whether that light is just the tiniest light, if you still can see it, you are not going, the depression isn't going to own you. It is at the moment where everything is black, where you cannot see any light in your life, that is where your depression really needs, you're gonna need help with your depression, definitely. And she also very much explained to me that it's okay to be sad, and sadness doesn't equal depression. We all go through things that make you sad. The depression is something much heavier than just pure sadness. And that has helped me, even when I've gone through depression, because I've also gone through depression. And that is that I always look for the light. I always try to figure out what are the positive things in my life at this moment. How can I utilize those to bring some happiness in me, to bring some energy back into me. But I'm at the point right now with all of these interviews and all of these things that even all of my happy things doesn't bring back the energy. The mental energy I'm losing of having all these calls every day is draining me. And the only thing to get those energy back is to have a break. I will have a break this weekend because they don't work weekends, and so I don't do either. But I still will. Won't be back to my normal self by Monday. But I will feel better by Monday, and that is a good thing. So I'm continue to looking at the good things. My little cute kitties that are going with us on our vacation. My wonderful boyfriend that is the best person in the world. And I'm appreciating him more and more every day. He means the world to me. And I love him a lot. And I'm so happy that he's here with me through all of this. He's the one that is cheering me on. He's the one that is holding me up when I falter. And he's amazing. I don't know where I would be without him. I probably would still be the fighting person and resilient person as I am today, but he makes things a lot easier. So yeah, I'm looking at the positive things, that I have 1,000 projects that can keep me busy. So yeah, it will turn out good in the end. It's just a very heavy time right now. I will be back next Friday. We will come from a different venue. I will try to figure out how to record this video in a good way. By the way, if you want to see kind of the places where I travel and all of those things, I will be sharing some of that on my channel over on The Real Life of Me, so head over there if that is something you're interested in. I also sometimes share some sneak peeks on what I'm working for when it comes to cross stitching, so if you want to hear it before this video or before the Flosstube videos, you can find it there. Anyhow, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day. I hope that if you have any struggles that you can find some happiness within them, and I also hope that those struggles will end for you if they can. So until next week, just stay awesome and have an awesome time, and take some time for stitching. Stitching is always good. See you on Friday. Bye.